Russell, what did you see from their defense?
Well, their defense is making a lot of plays, and they're a very physical defense. Their front seven is tremendous, and their back end is very experienced as well. They're making a lot of plays, so that's one of the things that you notice about their defense. And a lot of their games are really close. So I mean, their record doesn't show how good they really are, and so we're gonna have to play great football and play physical and be strong. What did you kind of see from him? Khalil Mack, he's playing like one of the rookies of the year. He's a special football player. He doesn't look like a rookie at all. He looks like a guy that's been there for 10 years. So it'll be exciting to go against him. He's playing great football. He's very physical, can run around. He's a very aggressive football player. So I have a lot of respect for his game.
Russell, the last drive in Carolina, you went to Helfett, Wilson, Norwood, and Richardson. Four guys that weren't big pieces of this offense here. To have the trust in them to be able to come down the stretch for you in a key situation like that. Where are you guys at on that stage?
Well, to be able to go to Cooper Helfett, Luke Wilson, to Norwood, to Paul Richardson, so many different guys when the game's on the line like last week, and then to capitalize. I have complete trust in those guys. They work so hard during the week, and they do a tremendous job of just continuing to make plays throughout practice and throughout the week, and obviously on game day. And so, I have all the confidence in the world in those guys. When somebody steps, and that's the great thing about our team, I believe, is when somebody has to step up, they step up every time, and that's what we need. And they continue to show up and continue to do a great job. And so you gotta love having those guys out there on the field with you.
There's still room with those guys to kind of be able to build some more trust and just get a feel for them.
I don't think there's any more room in terms of building trust. I think we completely trust each other and what we're doing. I think there's always room for all of us to improve. Definitely me. So that's something that you look forward to. But other than that, in terms of the trust factor, I completely trust those guys. I knew Norwood was going to make that catch. I knew Paul Rich was going to make a big catch. I knew Cooper Helfett was going to show up. I knew that Luke Wilson was going to catch that ball down the seam. It's just I have confidence in those guys.
How have you and the team matured in running either 2-minute or hurry up during the course of the game?
Well, really ever since I've been here, I feel like we've been pretty good at the 2-minute. It's something that we thrive on. It's something that I look forward to at least, and I know our rest of our offense does as well. And so we keep getting in those situations. Coach Carroll puts us in those situations throughout the week. I mean, I remember my rookie year, we had to have at least 1,500 snaps of 2-minute situations from training camp all the way to the end of the season in terms of practice. And so we get in those situations and we feel comfortable in those situations. I look forward to those situations because it puts pressure on the defense, but it also puts the ball in our court, and hopefully we can make a play.
Do you feel like the offense is better when you guys speed up the tempo?
I think our offense is better when we're on schedule. When we speed up the tempo, it's a great thing because it makes it tough on the defense for sure, and I definitely like doing that. But it also there's a certain pace to the game that you want to be in rhythm with, and when we can run the ball and be physical, and obviously hand the ball off to Marshawn Lynch, it makes a difference too. So especially when you have a great defense that can make a lot of plays for you, you want to make it hard on the other team to get the ball back. And so I'm just glad we're versatile. We can do a lot of different things. We got to keep getting better, that's for sure. But that's a thing that we pride ourselves on, is being able to hop into 2 minutes and make plays.
How much did you do that in NC State? Was that kind of the style of offense you guys ran there?
Yeah, at NC State, I did it all the time. We were wide open offense, West Coast style of offense where the games were high scoring all the time. So we always had to kind of either come from behind or just try to separate by being in 2-minute situations. So I like being in those situations. Also at Wisconsin was more similar to what we do here. We're a physical running game. We attack you, play action down the field, and then, one of the things I always remembered at University of Wisconsin was we would always capitalize, right before the half or right at the end of the game, in those 2-minute situations because we practice it so much. So, it's something that you pride yourself on here. Coach Carroll does, like I said, does a great job of putting us in those situations.
Having a 285-pound fullback lineup behind you yesterday.
Yeah, to have 285-pound fullback lineup behind me, that definitely helps. I think Marshawn's excited about that, to have a guy step up for him at fullback. Robert Turbin did a great job, in the meantime. But Robert's a star running back, so you want him having the football in his hands, too, as well. So, but that's an exciting thing to have. He definitely hit a few people yesterday.
About having trust in everybody. Where's that kind of come from? Because some quarterbacks, maybe they have the one guy they feel most comfortable with in clutch situations, but you seem to always just kind of throw it around.
I just try to facilitate the ball to the right guy at the right time. I just believe they're going to make the play. But in terms of the trust, I think that, I try to work with all the guys, in terms of communicating in the meetings and in terms of getting out there early and after practice or just in the locker room, just trying to talk about, what I'm seeing, what they're seeing, and just be on the same page. And, there's no fear in those situations. There's no fear when the game's on the line. If anything, I look forward to those situations, and I think the rest of our teammates do too as well.
What lesson did this team, you think, draw out of the Tampa Bay game last year about this time of year?
In terms of last year, the lesson we learned from the Tampa Bay game last year, that it's the National Football League. Everybody's good. We know that the Raiders are good. We played them in preseason. We've played them in the past few years in preseason. We know the talent that they have. They have some great leadership too, as well. Some guys that they've acquired over the past year, and some of the players that they really have are great football players and have played for a long time. You think about Charles Woodson, this is his 17th year. You think about other guys, so some of the D linemen and the way that Khalil Mack's playing as a rookie, and the quarterback's playing well too, Carr. So it's just one of those things that you have to get ready to go. We know that it's going to be a battle. They've lost some close games. And they played the Chargers really well. They played some of the other teams really well. So they played the Patriots well. It's gonna be a good game.
On the hurry up, Pete after the game the other day kind of said you're almost like a point guard in those situations a little bit. Do you feel like that more in those situations than you do, I guess, when you're huddling and all that, or?
Do I feel like a point guard more in those situations? Hopefully I feel like a point guard all the time. That's my goal. Like I told you guys, I want to be like Tony Parker, just dishing the ball to the right guy at the right time. So in those situations, I think it's just playing smart, but playing aggressive. There's a certain tempo that you want to have. There's a certain understanding of the situations mentally. And Coach Carl Smith, my quarterback coach, he does a great job. We watch tons of live tape, and we watch tons of situational football from this year to the years in the past that we've played, and then all the way back to other teams as well. And so I thrive off of those situations, and I think our team does for sure too as well, because we're in them all the time. And so my job is just get the ball to the right guy and then hopefully capitalize when we need to.
When you're in the hurry up, how much of the offense do you feel is at your disposal, play calling, playbook wise?
In the hurry up, I usually call the plays. Coach Bevel and I are on the same page, though. We know what we want to call and what we want to do. So it's definitely something that's effective for us because of that relationship Coach Bevel and I have is the same. We talk about it all the time and what we want to run and how we want to do it. So it's a good thing.
Too comfortable in that situation? You talked about all the snaps, but is there a point where you can be almost too relaxed in that 2 minute?
I hope not. I hope I'm never too relaxed in those situations. But I do want to be as poised as possible. There's a sense of urgency that you want to have. I think it's John Wooden that used to say, move quick but don't hurry, something like that. So, it's something that you want to have that sense of urgency. You want to be able to push the ball down the field. We also don't want to rush and make bad decisions as well. You want to give guys a chance, but also, live for another down. Some of those times too, it's four down territory. And so that if it's not there, just throw it away or get something positive by running it, and that's the way I look at it.
When you're keeping the defense on the field like that, what are the benefits from a quarterback's perspective of being able to do that?
Well, from a quarterback's perspective, it slows down the D-line a lot, because when you're on the field so long, those guys are rushing, trying to get past our old linemen and trying to get to me, and so it kind of slows down the pressure a little bit. It also, allows the offensive football is rhythm. So there's a certain pace, like I said earlier. Sometimes you want to slow it down a little bit. Sometimes you want to speed it up, just like playing basketball. When you get a breakaway, sometimes you want to go full speed, but sometimes you can slow it down, pull it back out, and just make sure you get a good play on. So those are the things that you want to do.
From basketball talk, were you a point guard?
I was a point guard. I wasn't the best. I was a great passer, ironically. But I wasn't gonna play in the NBA. My sister could beat me though, that's for sure. And don't judge me; she'll beat you too.
While we're on other sports, how would Russell Wilson, the baseball player, have fared against Madison Bumgarner?
So, funny story about Madison Bumgarner. So, we were roommates at the East-West Showcase coming out of high school, the top 100 players. We were roommates, and then also, I think, area code games too as well. So, I've gotten to know him over the past, few years. I haven't gotten in touch with him, lately, but so yeah, I used to play with him. We're on the same team, and I think we won it all that showcase. So it's a good experience. He's a big guy, man. He could really throw it. A great athlete. Excited for him. He's a true competitor. I used to play against Buster Posey too. So to watch those two guys, him catching and Bumgarner throwing, it's pretty special.
Did Bumgarner throw that way when you were?
Oh yeah, he was throwing 96, lefty.
You can't throw that way. Here he is.
Yeah, he was always kind of he had a great arm, man. He had a lot of pitches and could do a lot of things. He could hit pretty good too, if I recall, but. He's a force out there pitching.
You ever hit off him, or
second?
You ever hit off him, or just?
No, we were on the same team. So I'm glad I didn't have to hit off him. Thank you guys. Go Hawks. Peace.